check my pulse. Got that sixth sense for love. Don't make me fall.
This is uplifting. I love this.
Get your rush. Come check my
Main motivation for tech oligarchs pushing AI is black culture without any black people and digital teen girls that do whatever you want. Timbaland pushing this is loser behavior. Yo guys, I was shifting some things around in this room and we got to have an emergency conversation. So Timbaland just dropped his first music video of his artist Tata. And a lot of music producers, artists, and songwriters are kind of up in arms about it. Now, personally, I had my qualms, if that's the right word, with Timbaland before, but it was not about AI. It was about other stuff in the producer community and the history of the producer community. Now, I was very critical of a Timbaland in the early days, very, very critical. Probably taking it a little too personal because I feel like I have to protect the producer community a lot. And I took it very seriously, the matter. But he followed me on Instagram and I followed back and we DM'd and I apologized. I said, sorry for being super critical of you. And I took down the videos where I was critical of him because I had to gain a new perspective. And the new perspective was after I saw what Suno V5 was, my eyes opened up. I was like, oh, this is his perspective. I think a lot of people who are, speaking against Timbaland just don't understand the world of AI. They probably have no idea what Grok is, what API calls are, probably have no idea what Higgsfield is, probably have no idea what Photoshop and Nano Banana is or Mixboard or anything that we talk about on this channel. They probably have no clue what that is. And I'm not here to talk down on people. I want to be very specific how I'm addressing this, but there's a new video. Before I'm going to give my thoughts, but let's just start with this video. So Timbaland launched this video. It says Timbaland debuted the first music video from his AI generated artist Tata. So let's play a little clip here.
Put ice on my shooter. He gon' duck immigration now. Bitch, I'm back now. Check my stats now. All these clips on me, I might black out. I was broke then, but this ain't that now. Knock on Fiji, the VV splash now. TT cashed out, I stayed humble. I seen kingdoms, watch them crumble. I seen titans, watch them fumble. This ain't Eden, this that jungle. I got options on options. I need bad bitches only. I get top on the phone now. Bitch, I feel like I'm Dochi. Yeah, they came to see Tata. Show me tits from the nosebleeds. Put ice on my
So I don't know if that's a real human or if this is an AI. I don't know if it's a real human or not. I don't know. Now, if this is AI somehow embedded into a human video, then this is really impeccable because I don't think people understand what it takes to do something like this. Now, again, I don't know if it's a human or not. I can't tell. But let's just say it is a human. This song, a lot of people were, the Jabberwockies are known for their, I forget where they appeared on their show, but it was one of those competition shows like, X Factor or America's Got Talent, one of those shows. And they kind of do their dance and their special thing to music and it just amplifies the music in a different way. It's almost like a human audio visualizer is what the group does. So that's the group in the background right here. These guys here, the Jabberwockies. And this song is built for that type of music. So when I see people on Twitter talking about, oh, the beat's whack and the artist is whack, it's like, bro, it's not supposed to be Cry Me a River. It's supposed to be a Jabberwocky type dance song where people just do their dance moves to it. What is the problem with that? And a lot of people attacking Timbaland are being very, 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 very subjective. They're not being objective at all. And it just shows me that people are just emotional about AI. For what reason? I would like to know. So let me know in the comments below why you guys truly believe that AI is why you're so against AI. A lot of people are going to say it's stealing. I already made a video about how AI is trained and how it actually predicts waveforms. So you guys can watch that video. It's boring, but nobody wants to watch the video because they don't want to address the truth. Okay. So my stance on this is this, and let me go back out to the screen here. Let me run this back one more time.
Bitch, I'm back now. Check my stats now.
So let's just say, I have to assume because I don't know. Let's just say this is AI. So I said on my Twitter, I said, guys, this takes effort. This isn't just type in a prompt, get this. Like, for one, I saw Timbaland was doing pictures at the actual video shoot. He had to get the real Jabberwockies there, which is hard enough. He has to, be there for the shoot. He has to get a whole team to do the video. He has to do an actual video treatment, which is tens of thousands of dollars. Okay. And then on top of that, he has to embed his AI somehow with somebody who's really good at AI. Or again, I think this is a human, but I can't tell. It's hard to know. I don't know. I think this is like a stand-in girl, but I don't know. Regardless, let's just assume it is AI. So if this is AI, firstly, let me just say, if this were any other craft, like what's the one knitting, if this were making beats, if this were shooting a video, a film, this takes effort, regardless of however many AI elements. This takes effort. The same way a CGI film is not real, but you guys go to watch Toy Story every year, but it's not real. So why don't you protest against CGI if you're against AI? Because there's a lot of human involvement with that, even though it looks simple and it looks pristine. Let me describe. So firstly, they have to get a profile of their character. This is called character consistency. So she's wearing the same outfit. So this is why I think it's a human, but I can't tell. The character's wearing the same outfit, multiple angles. This is incredibly difficult to do in AI. She's synchronized with the actual Jabberwocky group. Okay. So that's why I think it's a human, because I don't know how you would program that with AI. I do know the new Quinn, what is it? The Wan Animate. Okay. It can basically, you could dance in Wan Animate. Okay. So this could be a real person, but they skin the person with the AI. So this is why I said, you guys who aren't on AI, you have no idea how much effort goes into this. So the same way you would shoot a film, okay, they put all these little balls on somebody's body and they do motions for NBA 2K and they do all these dunks and different things. They're not scripting that in. They're recording somebody's movements with all these little balls around them. They take those sample points and they apply it to a character skin in the game. The same thing here. They could have an actual dancer on the set who does not look like this girl, and they can move and do all the dance moves, but they can reskin it with Timbaland's AI. So that's another possibility too. And the people who don't understand that are just going to say, oh, he just typed it in a Sura and got a whole music video of consistent scenes that make sense. The lip syncing goes along with the audio. Okay, there's a lot of detail in this outside of just the music. Okay, there's the editing of the actual video, the color grading. The main thing is this is a dance song. Okay, so everybody judging this is like, it's not a hit song.
Seen kingdoms, watch them crumble. I seen titans,
Bro, it's supposed
watch
to be a
them
dance
fumble.
song.
This ain't Eden, this that jungle.
And also too, if you guys listen closely and if you understand AI, you'll understand that a lot of the AI voices right now are very grumbly and noisy. So assuming this is his AI voice, this is a very clean vocal. In order to get this kind of vocal, you would have to train over and over and over and over and over again. And you would have to mix the vocal, chances are. You can't just type it in and say, sing this. There's a lot of work to it. As I show you guys in all of my videos, I'm generating stuff in Suno Studio, but I'm going into the DAW, arranging stuff like, a producer would do, okay? So this takes a lot of effort. And I pointed out only a couple things, let alone he has to have the money to do this. Just that alone is incredible, meaning you have to have the budget to pull something like this off to begin with.
Put ice on my shooter. He gon' duck immigration. Bitch, I'm back now. Check my stats now. All these clips on me, I might black out.
So the whole thing on Twitter that I said, who's Prince? Did Prince need your beats? Did he need your loops? Did he need you to perform for him? Or was Prince self-sufficient? What about Ryan Leslie? Did Ryan Leslie need you to send loops in for his album? Did he call you guys up and say, hey, I need your production on this beat? Did Ryan Leslie go, man, I need your background vocals? Or did he just produce everything himself because he's an entrepreneur and he could do everything himself? I'm the same way. I can do vocals. I can do my own beats. I can make my own melodies. I can do my own mixing. I don't need humans for anything in terms of music production. So when people use the argument like, oh, AI is just cutting the middleman out, you were never involved to begin with. And when you understand a producer's mindset, and I'm speaking from the people who are, all-in-oneers, think about every top music producer you guys love. I'll just name him, Timbaland. You guys love him. He's an artist and a producer. Kanye West, artist and a producer. Metro Boomin, artist and a producer. All of your favorite top people are artists and producers. Dr. Dre, artist and producer. They can do everything themselves. They don't need anybody. They just use other people to make stuff faster and easier for themselves or to get new ideas. The same way somebody might go to Suno Studio, type in, come up with a guitar riff that wraps around the beat that I have and make it creative. Okay, it's the same exact thing as me calling up somebody and saying, hey, I need you to play guitar on this thing. The difference is you don't get people not showing up to the studio. You don't get people not creating what you actually want. I spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on creators, okay? Creatives and creators. Creatives, that's the number one category where you could burn through money like nothing else before. I remember one time I was building a plugin interface and I paid real humans to create characters, to create all these variations of my UI. One day I'll go through all the different variations of it. I spent well over $10,000 on just graphics that never made it to the public. Why would I sit here and constantly spend thousands and thousands of dollars for humans to get it wrong? Isn't the point of the human to translate my idea into reality? That's what I'm paying you a service to do. Okay, I'm paying you a service to get my mix exactly how I hear it in my head or better. I'm paying you because I want you to actually do the guitar riff that I'm saying to you. If you can't do that, then why am I paying you? Okay, so the same exact thing here is why am I paying a person when they're not going to deliver what I actually want? So you guys got to sharpen up. If you guys have service businesses, producers, mixing engineers, recording engineers, you got to sharpen up on proving to people that you can translate their idea into reality, or you need to come up with intangible things that you offer these people. You can't just say, oh, I have a Neumann mic. You can't just flash gear and say, oh, we have an SSL console anymore. That's not, you actually got to bring a unique selling proposition, more than just the gear, more than just the ear. You have to, sell these people on something greater than that. Like, is your customer service better? Will you treat them well? Really, I learned this, and I'll be short and I'll play this video game. I forget his name here, but there was a guy who owned a really top end recording studio on Clubhouse. And we used to talk with him all the time. And he told me, he was like, the recording business is like a hotel business. It's a hospitality business. He's like, when these all-stars come to my studio, it's not about the fact that we have a Sony C800 with an 1176 going into a Sony C800 going into a Neve 1073 going into an 1176 going into the DAW, Pro Tools HD rig and all this type of stuff. He's like, all these studios do that same thing or better. He's like, what they come here to do is because they know they'll be catered to. We'll give them cookies. We have a place for them to sleep. He's like, my staff will treat them as if they're royalty. That's what they're coming there to do. It has nothing to do with the equipment. When you're at the top, there's nothing higher than the top. So what else do you bring to the table at that point? So that's the conversation. And I feel like people just don't want to have that conversation and they keep demonizing AI. I'm not here to, fight, defend AI. I'm just telling you guys, I really hate fear-mongers. Like people who use the advancement of a people and spin it so that you fear it, so that you never go after it. The number one thing to hide information from you guys is to demonize it. Always remember that. Whenever somebody wants to hide information from you, they demonize it. Okay, so look at everybody demonizing AI right now. Music, okay, demonizing AI music. To me, it's a tool. I show you guys every day how I use it. Even I just saw the 50 Cent, if you hated it, let me now and out. Would you still have love for me, girl? And somebody made it a New Jack Swing song and put it up on Spotify. What difference is a DJ remixing that into a house song and putting it up on Spotify? What's the difference? Is the difference that the guy who did it on Suno did it faster? How do you know he did it faster? Because he has to go through a ton of iterations through Suno to actually get the full length and everything consistent and do all the words, and also to get around the copyright words. So that's effort. How do you know he didn't spend more time than the guy who just dragged in loops from Cymatics, the house loops or Vengeance loops or something like this, and slapped his name on it and said, I'm DJ so-and-so dropping the Hate It or Love It remix. What's the difference? Okay. So again, if the argument is AI can only do what it does because it steals everything that we did, like I said, go watch my video about how AI actually works, because these arguments people are making are just keeping you guys stuck. And I'm going to be straightforward with you guys because I'm a business owner. I'm not just somebody who makes music. You have to adapt or you will perish. There is no other option. So if you keep demonizing this stuff and not implementing it into your business and understanding it, you will be swept so fast, because the person who understands it will beat you to the punch, get way more traffic, and then your stuff becomes irrelevant. It has nothing to do with music. I'm not talking about people who copy and paste prompts. At the end of the day, you still have to get traffic. You still have to get eyeballs to your content. You still have to market. You have to do all the things that everybody else does. Just because you make a song doesn't mean somebody's going to view it. So why are you worried about somebody who can generate 10,000 songs if they're not going to get views to it? So ultimately, we got to ask the question that you're avoiding, which is, how do you stand out from everybody else?
I was broke then, but this ain't that now. Not on Fiji, the VV splash now. TT cashed out, I stayed humble. I seen kingdoms, watched them crumble. I seen titans, watched them fumble. This ain't Eden, this that jungle. I got options on options. I need bad bitches only. I get top on the phone now. Bitch, I feel like I'm Dochi. Yeah, they came to see Tata. Show me tits from the nosebleeds.
See, I didn't understand Timbaland, and I want to, again, publicly apologize. I don't know if I ever publicly apologized to Timbaland. I might have to make a video because I was very critical about Timbaland, a lot of things, and not just Suno and AI. I was critiquing Timbaland even before this whole Suno thing. So people, you could check my history. And I took the videos down because I realized his perspective. And only until you get your hands on Suno Studio and Suno V5 will you understand why he speaks the way he does. It unlocks a whole new inspiration. It's doing stuff that I can't normally do, even with humans. And it's not that people can't do it. It's like, yeah, I know how to do, I know how to program that, but do I want to sit here for 30 minutes and do it? Not all the time. Or if I want to do a bongo, am I going to go to the store, buy a bongo, sit here, find the SM57 mic, make sure that all my acoustics are treated perfectly? Or do I just want to, and then the machine makes it sound like a bongo? It's still coming from my brain, okay? The only difference is I didn't waste time going to the store to buy a bongo. I didn't waste time setting up my environment. I didn't waste time setting up the mics. I didn't waste time recording, okay? And then I could also make an argument, if you guys use sample libraries, you're automatically disqualified from saying that AI is bad because you use something that somebody already did and you reformat it with MIDI and velocity. Therefore, you're not being creative. You're using something somebody already did. You didn't create that bongo, so you can't use it. You didn't make that loop, so you can't use it. So, I mean, it's like I said, how far down are we going to go? You didn't make the kick, so you can't use it. And it's the same argument. It's like, what are we fighting? I think people just need a punching bag, and they're making Timbaland their punching bag because they're just dealing with the hard times in the US, but AI is their scapegoat. Like I said, guys, if you constantly demonize AI, not only will you be stuck, kids who know way less than you will surpass you by light years. And it has nothing to do with skill in music. That's never what the music business was ever even about, is skill in music. Like, yes, the top people. If that were the case, like I said before, jazz would be the top genre in the world. Why is jazz not the top genre in the world? Because it was never about extreme talent. It was never about that. It was about storytelling and having a message. The same way, girl, is it easy to love me now? Whether I'm singing it, 50 Cent singing it, an AI singing it, the message is about, hey, if I was down, would you be out? That's the message. 50 Cent accomplished his goal. He got the message from me to you, to whoever else, to them. That was the message. Like Jesus came to the world. Are we focused on Jesus, the person, or his disciples, or the message? What's the if he's a messenger, what's the message? Why is nobody focused on the message? We're always focused on the person. The person is the story. His disciples are a reflection of his story in different perspectives, male, female, black, white, okay? Even till this day, you have 2,000 years plus of Jesus's influence. Is Jesus the only person that could be Jesus? Isn't your whole goal as a Christian to be like Jesus? So you see how a lot of these arguments go down to the core of what people are actually doing. And ultimately, I think that we just want to block something because we demonize it. And it's not your fault. It's because media, it's because of talking heads in the space, the producer community, talking heads being really irresponsible with their platforms. Because not only are they biased, they don't offer like the other side. As you guys can understand, I tried to get people on a live stream to talk about AI. And the main thing is I'm not trying to be right. I'm trying to comprehend the other side so that I can understand both perspectives. Okay, I'll go, oh, okay, I understand why. He's Muslim. He grew up in Egypt. He's Muslim. That's their culture. You know, they grew up around that. They fast all the time. This is their culture. They treat their women like this. They do this because of this. They do that because of that. Oh, they grew up around it. Oh, he's Christian because he grew up in America and the Puritans came here early on and they have all these churches everywhere. And they got people knocking on people's doors asking, do they know Jesus Christ? So it's like, depending on where you live is your religion. So the same thing here. It's like, I'm not demonizing the person who demonizes AI. I just hope that you guys open your eyes to stop creating sides. There is no side. Like I said, the real conversation is, The jobs that AI is taking at Amazon, the jobs AI is taking at the docks. Is your driving job being threatened by AI? With the little carts that go at the dock and they pick up the what are those things called? Those little containers. That's the stuff that you guys need to worry about, not if AI can make music. Put it this way. And I know I sound like I'm trying to defend AI. The main goal I'm trying to have here is to free you guys of this oppressive mindset. Because look, you could think you're the greatest in the world. I guarantee there's somebody better than you. Everybody watching this, I guarantee there's somebody better. Does that stop you from doing what you're doing right now? Is there a better producer than you? Does that stop you in your business? Is there a better artist than you? Does that stop your business? Is there a better musician than you? Does that halt your business because somebody's better than you? It never did, because it was an illusion that people were trying to create. So when people see AI, why is it stopping you? If human is so much better than AI, why is the AI stopping you from doing anything? If you're so much better than this AI stuff, what's the threat? I just want people to open up their mind. Again, I'm not defending AI. I just think, as somebody who's responsible for the forwardness of a community, I just feel like there's a lot of talking heads that lead us backwards, and they're irresponsible with their platforms. And they position things in a certain way with ignorance and lack of knowledge to prevent other people from moving forward. And I've seen this before, even before AI. I've seen this when we were talking about ClickFunnels and upsells and offers and all that. That's how business works. When you walk into Walmart, you see the carts right in the beginning. You see a Subway to the left or an Annie Ann's. Okay. You smell food. Therefore, you're trapped in there because your natural instinct is to gather food. So you're trapped in by the smell, because nothing really smells in Walmart because it's all packaged. So they have to give you the 5 things. You have to get sight, smell, touch, taste, and audio. How do they do that? You hear carts rattling all the time through Walmart. You go in there, you smell food. You see the bright lights on everything. Now, if you taste the cart, you might be a little crazy. Okay, some people taste the cart, some people taste the food. And then you smell and you see everything and you touch the cart and you move around. Now, in the beginning of Walmart, they have the boring stuff like the inanimate office supply stuff. Now, as you get to the back, they put all the candy in the back so that you're forced to walk through all the stuff that you don't care about. That's called a potential upsell, cross-sell. So you're already doing this every time you go to Walmart, every time you go to the grocery store, every time you guys go outside, period. The whole world, the roads are set up for upsells, cross-sells. Anytime you see a billboard, okay? So it's like, why are we demonizing applying that same logic to the internet? And I saw that, a lot of heavy criticism around that. And a lot of you guys kept getting frustrated why your beats aren't selling. And I'm like, you have to structure a business. There's no just go to a website, upload something, call it a day. There's none of that anymore. You guys got to level up. I made a whole course called Faceless Type Beat Channel for a reason. You guys saw me on YouTube for what? It was like 10 videos, 12 videos showing you every single step of online business. This goes way deeper than uploading to a website and putting up an Instagram. Business is way deeper than what you think. And when people keep simplifying it, like it's just keep trying, niche down. Why would you niche down? That's like going to the kiddie pool. Like, think of it this way. The reason people tell you to niche, they should say niche up. Okay. And I'm making a side note here because I want you to free your mind of these restrictive thoughts. Niching up is different than niching down. Niching up means, okay, I want to talk to business owners. Okay, well, there's millions of business owners. Well, no, I want to niche up to say I only want to talk to business owners who make $10 million a year or more. Now, that's a very, very, very small amount of people who make 10 million a year or more. That's a very small handful of people, okay, on the average. Okay, so I'm niching down in terms of number, but I'm niching upward in terms of where they are in this pyramid of how America works. And when people tell you to niche down, they're literally telling you to go to a small pool of people who don't even have the resources to trade with you. So you're creating a box and a limitation on your business. That alone, it's just principles like this. I guess what I'm trying to free you guys of is this, all these waves of innovation have been demonized by music producers, and we wonder why the music industry is behind. It's because we as creatives think that we have to force everything and control everything. And it's like, if we really look at it, we're all hypocrites. If we use a MIDI controller, we're a hypocrite. We're not playing a real grand piano. If we're not recording with our own microphones into the DAW, we're hypocrites because it's not authentically all the pristine and human-made things. And if we really, really think about it, what is a piano? A piano is a man-made thing. Who is glamorizing a man-made thing? Didn't it say in the Bible not to, what is it called? What is it called? Like when you worship men? If you're saying I have to use a piano to be a real musician, that's a man-made item, sir. That's out of some man's brain. So there's a lot of arguments here to make. One day I'll go live with some other creators to see. But really, I just want to make this video to break us out of this mindset that keeps us trapped. It's really sad. It really, really is sad. And again, I think people should have their opinion. But when they use their opinion as if it's fact, that's when it gets dangerous.
Put ice on my shooter. He gon' duck immigration now. Bitch, I'm back now. Check my stats now. All these clips on me, I might black out. I was broke then, but this ain't that now. Not on Fiji, the VV splash now. TT cashed out. I stayed humble. I seen kingdoms, watch them crumble. I seen titans, watch them fumble. This ain't Eden, this that jungle. I got options on options. I need bad bitches only. I get top on the phone now. Bitch, I feel like I'm Dochi. Yeah, they came to see Tata. Show me tits from the nosebleeds. Put ice on.
The more I listen to it, the more I understand it. And also, too, think about music videos in general. Where do people post music? There's no MTV anymore. There's no TRL. So where do people even post their music videos? This was a risk in and of itself, just making a video, period. So again, I want to shout out Timbaland. I understand now because he sounded crazy when he saw what Suno V5 was and nobody else knew what the heck it was. So he's gonna sound crazy. I was like, when I saw V5, I was like, oh, that's why he was saying what he was saying. And then he's putting in my comments, he said, there's more. So I was like, oh, okay. He sees stuff that we're not allowed to see just yet. And that's why he's speaking from a future self. Ultimately, I want to hear you guys' thoughts. I already know there's going to be people being super passive aggressive, making YouTube talking head videos and being indirect. If I have a problem with somebody, I will talk about their name. It's not even a problem. It's like, if I want to address people, say their name. Why are you being a coward and not saying it? Oh, there's other YouTubers talking on YouTube and they said Timbaland is, and I'm using the accent just to be a contrast, So it's like, why are people so indirect? I don't understand. What else is there to say about this? I mean, you guys should have saw my timeline. Let me see if I can find some tweets. Like, I'm glad I checked my saves. For example, this is the AI you guys need to be worried about. Because this is the AI in the imagined automated dock world. You're not going to need drivers to come in and be licensed and do all this stuff. They could just do it themselves with automation. Drivers, that was like one of the safe jobs, is like being a truck driver. What happens when Elon Musk takes over that entire industry? Or whoever makes this dock equipment. I'm not sure who makes this, what company makes this. And then you got one man manning everything, or a couple engineers manning the automations of this. That's why I said people need to understand that services is ultimately being a middleman. It's because somebody else doesn't have the means, the knowledge, or the energy to do something. So you're stepping in to do it for them. But what happens when they can do it for themselves? This is why you have to step into the independent mindset. All right, so I pulled up Twitter. This is usually where a lot of negative people live anyway. But this one's from Dennis Darko. He says, Timbaland destroying his own legacy wasn't in my 2025 cards. And he's talking about the Tata AI. So it's like, how is he destroying anything? He never needed your artistry. He never needed your production. He never needed your loops to begin with. So what is he destroying? He's an artist, producer. He can mix his own stuff. He can sing his own stuff. He probably just doesn't want to sing in his own voice because as a creative, don't you want to use different instruments? Why wouldn't a producer want to use a different voice? So it's like, what is he destroying? It's just people being super emotional. This one says Brendan Bergen. Main motivation for tech oligarchs pushing AI is black culture without any black people and digital teen girls that do whatever you want. Timbaland pushing this is loser behavior. Like, come on, bro. The funny thing is you need to sell AI to regular consumers. So how are the tech oligarchs running the industry if you have to ultimately sell it to a consumer? If tech oligarchs were running this whole AI scheme, they'd be making their own artists. They wouldn't even need to go to anybody. So his argument, again, doesn't make sense because he's leaving out the whole important part, which is who cares and how do they care? People care because of marketing, traffic, cultural relevance. That's when people actually care. He's just trying to use these arguments to get people riled up. And I really hate this because I hate when people use just emotional triggers to try to convince a people to act, and they don't understand that they're actually causing a lot of damage. So I even said, okay, so I'm glad I saw this because I didn't even see this tweet. I need to delete this whole tweet chain as I apologize to Timbaland. So I need to go back to this and delete this tweet. So I'm doing this in real time. I forgot. See, I should have checked Twitter. I didn't think to check Twitter. Boom, delete. So all my thoughts about what happened to CLA Wu, even though at the time I thought it was negative, we're past that. All right, so it says, it's actually kind of impressive watching Timbaland undo his legacy, says Trap House Jodeci. Like, describe how he's undoing anything. Like, again, what artist is there to even work with right now? Nobody's standing out because they're all mediocre. They get rich and they get lazy. So if I was a Timbaland, like, who else would I use? Yeah, you could try to build up somebody from scratch. It costs money. It costs time. It costs effort. Timbaland is probably in his 40 plus years. I don't know how old Timbaland is. He's in a time where he can't waste time. And people, I'm sure, have wasted his time. Oh man, I'm the next you. No, you're not. You don't have the effort. You don't have the grind. You don't have the sacrifice. You don't have the tenacity. Okay, what I say? This is why Suno is crazy. The cover mode can, okay, cool. But any kind of slander I may have, not slander, but any kind of critique, harsh critique I put of Timbaland, I need to make sure I stand by my word and pull it down. Breakfast in Monaco says, Timbaland is one of my favorite producers ever, but it's been a good run. I wish him nothing but the worst in his future endeavors. Like, that's just hate in your heart. To disagree, that's like saying to a Muslim, man, you were my brother coming up, but I found out you were a Muslim and you don't eat pork, so now I'm going to, I forget you, and everything you do in the future is bound to hell. Like, who talks like that? This just shows that people think, this is actually showing how your favorite guy's word, narcissistic. This is how narcissistic people are. They want everybody to believe what they believe and have their stance. And anybody who doesn't believe their stance or have their stance, they just want to demonize them and convince everybody else that they're wrong just because they don't have their stance. Like, don't we live in a world where we have diverse thoughts, diverse innovations? The only way you get innovation is through literally iteration. The only way you get iteration is by having different thoughts. So by demonizing other thoughts, you're blocking your own forward movement. Anyhow, Think First says, Timbaland's like finally an artist that won't ever die or leave me, that I can receive all the income from without their family breathing down my neck. Isn't that what every producer's trying to do? Latch on to Drake for Drake placement so that you don't have to work hard for other artists? I mean, you guys are exposing your own internal battles with what you are doing this for. And this is exposing so much hypocrisy in the music production space. And I know these people aren't necessarily music producers, but I've seen the sentiment in the music producer community where it's very negative against AI, but nobody ever has a good rebuttal. They're just like, oh, they're stealing from us. How? And then I go to explain the science behind it, and they're like, well, it's unethical. What is ethics? Is ethics you taking a loop, removing the MIDI without anybody knowing, twisting it into a new instrument? That's ethical? Is ethical now, like, how are we defining ethics? Is the Marvin Gaye case where the groove was in question of Marvin Gaye, like, really, we're going to copyright groove? Like, that's a game that I don't want to play. These copyrights and all this, it's all built for the monopoly to monopolize. It's not built for any of you at the bottom. It's built for the people who already have the money to keep the money in the monopoly. And you're sitting there defending those people by thinking that you're defending yourself, and you're not defending them. All right, so let's see what else. What is this? 21 hours ago, Timbaland just added fuel to our growing rap dystopia. The legendary producer's use of AI-generated vocals and Biggie's likeness set another perilous precedent. Okay, so that's commenting on that. Okay, this was me questioning producer grind. Let's delete that. It says, D'Angelo passed away and Timbaland using AI to create a rapping Aquafina. I don't know what that means. Timbaland made his AI artist as a young Asian girl. Yeah, it's because it taps into a market that already accepts that. This is what I'm saying. People are speaking on something they have no knowledge about, and you just look dumb. The reason I would assume a Timbaland would go for an Asian cultured person is because in Asia, they're used to a whole genre where you program an app called Vocaloid to sing your vocals. It's kind of like anime music and really fast paced. And it's like, it's like a human couldn't even sing that fast. And there's a whole genre built around that computerized sound, built mainly around, I think Yamaha makes Vocaloid. I forget who makes the exact Vocaloid. It's a whole genre built around it. So if they're already into the tech portion of it and want the tech portion of it, he's delivering what they already want, which is that whole aspect of sound where it's embraced. So that's why he made that. Common sense. But people they just don't care to even know. This guy says, get Timbaland the F out of here. Why? Again, emotional men, emotional grown men. And I think this is the person who also said he's a writer for Darkchild, Aria Lanell, Brain Orchestra. Now, I don't know this man. I'm critiquing his thoughts, not him. I don't know him as a person. So if I ever met him in person, I would give him a hug. I just don't know him as a person. But my thing is, his literal title says written for. That means you are not even the person demonstrating the art. You're doing it for something else. How is this not the same exact thing? If Darkchild was an AI, what difference is it you prompting the AI? Just because Darkchild's a human? Like, okay, what makes human music significant? And we have to get into what makes humanness important in music. Like I said, is your delay human? Is your C++ plugin effect human? Because how far down are we going with human? Because once you start processing sound, it's different. Okay, is that human? Once you alter it, because it's not now the raw recording. Is that human still? Is it human after you record it even? It's going into electricity, into a microceiver, transformed into electricity. How is that human now? You actually turned a real world thing into a signal. So how's that human? And these are the questions that nobody asks, because again, it's getting too deep and specific. I thought he had more to say about it. I guess not. I guess that was the tweet. But there was more about that. Dylan just says, Timbaland, please. Again, a lot of people who probably never bought a Timbaland album, never went to a Timbaland concert, never signed up to Beat Club, never followed Timbaland on Instagram, but they want to critique another man. It's like, you were never a customer to begin with. He doesn't care about you in this scenario. I'm saying, I don't know what he cares about and doesn't care about. But I'm saying, why would he care about an opinion of somebody who never supported in the first place? So KJG Dosa says, Timbaland AI-ish, saddest and most creatively bankrupt-ish I've ever seen in my life. Actually, it's pretty intense, the amount of work that goes into this video. It's not easy to do that. Timbaland on some BS now because had to post a palate cleanser. Yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he spelled palate wrong. I don't know. Is that how he spelled? Now I got to look it up. All right, he spelled palette right. All right, I was giving him a heavy critique there. He spelled palette right. It says, LOL, Timbaland and his AI artist Tata, are you organic artists, producers, engineers ready to fight back? Like, what are we fighting? That's what I'm saying. What are you fighting? Here's the whole video. Okay, I didn't know there's a whole video to it. Hopefully I'm allowed to show this on YouTube. I don't know where they got this from. Oh, maybe it's from YouTube.
Yeah. I pulled up in that spaceship, make a bitch crease her face.
Let me see if I got the quality.
Vibrations, 808 conversation, 101's on some greatness.
Firstly, again, there's a lot of things that are AI enhanced. Like this alien, I assume is not a person because the neck is really thin. It could be a person, but I doubt it. It could be a really slim woman. But this looks like a clip from Sura or something. Now, if I scroll, again, I'm going to do it this way. This must be on YouTube. I didn't see it on YouTube, so I should have watched the YouTube video. Let's do it this way. I'm going to go through, because I know people skip to the end anyway. We're going to go through and point out all of the effort, the actual effort. I don't care if you used AI to leverage it or not. Like I said, if you use a MIDI controller, you're leveraging a tool. If you're using MIDI packs, you're leveraging somebody else's work. Just because you didn't type it in or do whatever doesn't mean it's lesser than. Just because it's faster doesn't mean it's worse. Anyway, I'm going to point out all of the things that I actually had to apply to this video. So first thing, video treatment and storyboarding, which is extremely difficult to do in AI to get a consistent result. So I assume these are AI clips, but I'm making an assumption here.
Yeah.
And it says directed by somebody. I missed that. So these look like AI clips because it's very pristine looking. So again, they kind of merged. I will say in the beginning, it does look like an AI video because it's random clips merged together. It doesn't look like a cohesive story just yet.
I pulled up in that spaceship, make a bitch crease a facelift, talk my shit on vibrations, 808 conversation, 101s on some greatness, public miseducation. All I read now is statements, ones and
So a lot of like ethereal cutscenes and B-roll.
O's. It's amazing, that shit look like the Matrix.
Now I could tell these are all, so for example, for the AI, and again, I'm not caping for AI, I just want you guys to understand there's a lot of things you guys just don't comprehend. So for example, to get this clip and then so this is the same clip we saw, but when they zoom into the hand, this is you have to prompt it to give you a different angle. And the fact that it has the same structure or similar structure, see, it's not the same character. This is the number one hardest thing to do in AI right now is keep a consistent character. So here we have different hands, different being, unless that was the being in the beginning. Let me zoom back. Okay, it's this guy right here. So either they split this clip, which I assume they did, and it like rotates the entire clip, or they created another clip where they're zoomed in. They probably split it up though. Okay, let's run this from right here.
Miseducation. All I read now is statements, ones and O's. It's amazing, that shit look like the Matrix. All this cash off the basics, this that hustle, that
I'm pretty sure that's a real human.
patience. I count stacks by the faces, I get lit by the aces.
Actually, I can't tell if it's like animated because I'm trying to look at her
Ones
mouth.
and O's. It's amazing, that shit look like the Matrix. All this cash off the basics, this that hustle, that patience. I count stacks by the face.
Because she said, I count 5, and it went like F. But it could just be a person who might not know all the lyrics off their head because they might not have written the song. So I will say the B-roll looks pretty random, very AI random so far.
I get lit by the aces, I got it straight out the base.
Like it's like 3 different robots we saw, money, kind of ethereal UFOs. So this is AI B-roll. This is what you would use AI to do in most use cases. A lot of people think you could just spit out an entire music video if you prompt Sora. Not only will that cost you a ton of money, but you're not going to get a consistent video from start to finish for 3 minutes long. So you have to patch together a lot of ideas. There's still humanness in this, in the fact that they have to make this make sense. The same way when you drag in loops from Splice, you have to make it make sense. You're using somebody else's effort on Splice.
I flip my check off a day shift. I put ice on my shooter. He gon' duck immigration. Bitch, I'm back now. Check my stats now. All these clips on me, I might black out. I was broke then, but this ain't that now. Not on Fiji, the VV splash now. TT cashed out. I stayed
Now this is more consistent because they're using more human A-roll.
humble. I seen kingdoms, watch them crumble. I seen titans, watch them fumble. This ain't Eden, this that jungle.
So I could tell they're like using certain keywords to think of all these like B-roll cuts. So this is when they talked about the jungle in Eden, the Garden of Eden.
I got options on options. I need bad bitches only.
And this is that fashion walkway where it also has a fashion scene where we saw the girls in the white, where this one's like they're in copper.
I get top on the phone now. Bitch, I feel like I'm Dochi.
And then we have another robot cut. So we saw about 4 to 5 robots already. And this is how I could tell they had to figure out a way to blend this all cohesively. So this must be a real human here.
Yeah, they came to see Tata. Show me tits from the nosebleeds. I cut deals at the garden.
And even if it isn't, I told you guys there's a technology right now called WAN Animate, made by the Chinese. They're doing way cooler things in America right now, currently. I haven't seen Google's VO 3.1 just yet. We've seen Sora, but it can't do WAN Animate. WAN Animate, I could literally stand here in my camera and go like this, and then overlay Mario. And it looks just like Mario's doing it, or whatever character, or whoever. And so we could reskin ourselves and animate images and different things. So they could have done that technology. The same thing they do for your video games and films when they capture CGI stuff. So again, a lot of robot cuts here.
Locked in right next to OG, yeah. Why these broke bitches tripping, yeah. I ain't lucky, I'm different, yeah. Paid your price of admission, yeah. That don't come with ambition, yeah. Who cook up out the kitchen, yeah. Who move sex after Christmas, yeah. Who put product on CDs, yeah.
I had one guy, this reminds me, because I thought, what if he hired this girl to go on tour physically, but she doesn't actually sing? Would it matter? People are like, man, AI can't do live shows. I'm like, first of all, how much revenue is in live shows, for one, for the average person? And for two, when people talk about live shows, they're acting like they're sitting front row. If you're at a live show, you're probably way in the nosebleeds somewhere looking at a monitor anyway. You're not even near the stage. And even if you're not near the stage, how do you know that's them? Like, how do you know that's the actual person on stage? You're not there to touch them, hug them. You can't, if you go on stage, you'll be beat up by security.
Turn that CD to Christians, yeah, 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 This that shit on the game. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Now again, people are critiquing the music. I'm like, if you know what the Jabberwockies are and you know where they came from, this is the music they dance to. It's the very like, yeah, like that type of stuff. I don't know how to dance, but like it fits that genre.
Yeah, yeah, this that shit on the game. Yeah, 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 yeah. Tell me who can go harder.
And another thing I meant to mention is the vocal quality is extremely good in terms of if this is an AI vocal, which I assume it is. So if I showed you guys AI vocals right now, they sound good, but they're not this pristine. They have a lot of tss, a lot of noise in it, a lot of S, a lot of sharpness in it. This is very, very, very clean and has depth to it, which means somebody trained it over and over and over again until they whatever the word is, till they crystallized a really good sound out of it. So that takes effort too. You know, it's like all these little things take a lot of effort. It's not typing it in, call it a day. Like this is a lot of work and a lot of money behind this.
Every name bought up, I might book me a
the same way your favorite artist who didn't write their lyrics had somebody else singing the whole hook, dragged in samples from another record from the 80s. It's like, how's that more creative than somebody actually being creative out of their own brain and putting pieces together the same way a producer from the 90s did it when they sampled from records that nobody knew about?
Harder, I might pull up on all them, clear my throat and go dumber. I ain't one for the drama. That ain't convo, that's comments. Tell her step up her grammar. I'ma need to see commas. You might catch me in Brooklyn. Yeah, I stay with a baddie.
And also, I want to make the sub argument because people are like, oh, you only use Suno because you can't do it in real life. It's like, we can do this in real life. The thing is, why would I want to waste time doing stuff? Like I said, if I could technically grab my guitar, figure out bar chords, figure out all these chords, sit there for 2 hours trying to hammer out some chords to get it exactly right. Or I could just give the AI exactly what I hear in my head and a rough style, or I could just play it myself and just waste time. This is about time, ultimately, and how much time you guys are willing to put into it. See, the fun we have as music producers is making the stuff. That's where the fun comes from. That's why I teach music production. We've taught over 1 million producers around the world. Some are going to work with Drake, Kanye West, Post Malone, Ariana Grande, French Montana, Young Thug, Polo G, Trippie Redd, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Glorilla. Some have won Grammys. Some have gone to win platinum plaques. And what we love as music producers is we love making the stuff. That's where the fun comes from. We don't want to skip all the in-between stuff. And that's what I used to think too. Oh, who wants to just type in a text prompt and get out a song? That's not fun, which it still isn't fun as much to do it until you're shocked and wowed by it. Then you're like, whoa, this song is crazy. I want to sample it. That's fun. Now, just typing a song, having it output, downloading it and uploading it to Spotify, I think that takes no fun. There's no fun in that. And who said business had to be fun, first of all? But also, secondly, the fun is from the process. So ultimately, it doesn't matter how far AI goes. People will always love making the music. Okay, I don't care how many McDonald's factories pop up in America. We're still going to enjoy making a meal because it's fun to make pizza, to make whatever, your own salad. Okay, but I don't care how many McDonald's factories in the world. So it's like people are fighting McDonald's for what? Who are you fighting? If ultimately you make the decision to make your own pizza tonight, or if you shop at McDonald's, it's a decision. So what are you fighting necessarily? I don't understand.
Wipe tears on a Prada. She's so bougie and bratty. I got all I could dream.
And my whole thing, there's another sub point, and I don't want to make this video super long. People are fighting for opportunities they never had, customers they never had. People were never coming to them for YouTube beats for their YouTube ever. They were going to Epidemic Sound for that because there's a library for that. They were never going to your custom beat site for their YouTube videos and their TikTok videos to make music and funny clips. You know, I could argue a lot of people, nobody's going to you for mixing services because they're just going to hack it together on BandLab and put it out. And they don't need a human all of the time. I'm not saying don't offer mixing services. I'm just saying, like, there's websites right now like ariamastering.com. You can master your site using a computer algorithm. Ultimately, like I said, if you're on social media watching this, you're already using AI. When you upload your song to YouTube, they process it, correct? Which means you don't have the final touch over your song. YouTube does. So you're getting you're mixing your song or getting a mixing engineer to ultimately have YouTube be your final mastering engineer. Like, just think about all the hypocrisy, including, I'm sure I have hypocritical beliefs. We all have limiting beliefs. I just want to remove some limiting beliefs that I could see from you guys. Now, if you can see limiting beliefs in myself, great, address it. But this one's super obvious, is the hypocrisy we have
I
as
give
producers.
praise to the most high. Gemini motivation. I need all of that multi. Yeah, 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 yeah. This, that shit on the game. Yeah.
When she say this, that ish on the game, I think Timbaland's target market is the audiences that like the Jabberwockies, and also too, the video game culture. This is definitely going in that realm of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, how many people in the crowd can say you even had an opportunity to place your stuff on the game? 90% of you have not. And I'm not saying that to talk down to you. That's not my point I'm trying to make. I'm saying that we are fighting something and saying that it's taking away stuff that never existed in the first place. You know, it's kind of like, I'm trying to think of an analogy between dating girls somehow. Let me try to think. It's kind of like AI boyfriends or something like this. Some kind of AI generator that generates muscular guys. And it's kind of like, man, AI is so terrible. They could generate muscular guys. Man, now it's going to block Jennifer Lopez from ever seeing me. She was never worried about you in the first place. J-Lo was never even remotely close to worrying about you in the first place. So the same thing with anything else in this argument.
Yeah, 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 yeah. This, that shit on the game. Yeah, 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 yeah.
That was actually dope. This part is dope. I like that. That was actually dope. Because I was like, oh man, who's that guy with the question mark? And then it's Timbaland. That was actually pretty dope.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And then this is coming from the man Timbaland, who made songs called, let me find that one song. As soon as I hit pause, I remember. Ayo Technology. Didn't Timbaland produce that? Or am I making that up? Ayo Technology. Something see you top of me. Ayo. Like, he's talked about technology for years now, and you guys are mad that he's using technology. Come on, y'all. Ooh. Yeah. So it's like part B to it? Okay, and why is nobody talking about this part?
You're gone and you in it. Telling you I'm at my limit. Gotta give myself a budget.
Now, this one I can kind of hear the noisiness in the vocal, but it's not to the point where it's distracting. I could just tell that this is an AI vocal.
How much I'm willing to take of your bullshit. You can swear that we're done. But then right.
There's a little bit of grain, like, there's like a little grain for the people who can hear it. There's a little grain and a little noise. That's a tell for AI vocals. But the first part, you couldn't tell that was AI vocal.
When I'm gone, you won't let me move on. I know it.
And to get it to sound this pristine and like solid takes a lot of mixing engineering. So whoever did the mixing, shout out to them.
Taking my time.
Yeah, also too, what if you guys got an AI mixing gig? You're going to turn it down because you're against AI? Oh, I don't want to take his $2,000. I'm against AI. No, you're going to flip because now you're involved in it. That's why I said people are so hypocritical.
Living a lie, and maybe I'm part of it. Come check my pulse.
This is hard.
Don't make me fall.
No, this is hard.
So you get your rush. Come check my pulse. Got that 6 since I'm done. It ain't your fault that you can't keep my love.
This is hard. Why are people hating on this? It's like, do people understand? This is what I'm saying. People are ignorant of the process. Somebody had to sing a melody. I doubt the AI just guessed how to sing that. And if it did, he still defeated lyrics, which he still had to give it something to wrap around, is my point. Like, this is catchy.
And right when I'm gone, you won't let me move on. I know it. Taking my time, living a lie, and maybe I'm part of it. Come check my pulse. Got that 6 sense for love. Don't make me fall.
This is uplifting. I love this.
Get your rush. Come check my pulse. Got that 6 since I'm done. It ain't your fault that you can't keep my love. Ooh.
Yeah, this is the one right here. I like this one. That's catchy. Why'd they leave that to the end? Oh, that's catchy. That's the one right there. So the first half was just to get people talking. The second half is the actual song. Okay, I see what Timbaland did. Timbaland is I'm starting to realize how Timbaland does his marketing. Definitely does controversial marketing, that's for sure. And I want to make this video again. This is a long video, but I just had a lot of thoughts about AI, and I just really, 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 really want you guys to understand how fun it is. It is so fun. Probably the most fun I've had in music production in a long time. it brings back the feeling of actually having a session where you're in there, you got this guitarist, this piano player, but now you can move faster and you can actually translate your idea. You're not worried about human emotions effing stuff up, people not showing up. The human unreliability is insane. Now, I don't mean cut all humans off of everything. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the stuff that you normally wouldn't even go to a human for, it's like now we can actually express more ideas, all of us. We don't have to just be a cog in a wheel anymore. So I'm excited. I think that's all that I see around Timbaland. It's just, so I'm not going to read any negativity. Just Twitter's being negative.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Let me know your comments below in the comments. I'm not going to block people. YouTube tends to block certain keywords. I'll unblock your comments. But the one thing I ask is that you guys, you're cool to have an opinion, but when you come on here attacking people for having a difference of opinion than you, that's how I know you're just not intellectually ready for this conversation. So if you want to come here and attack people for having a different perspective than you, then you might as well fight the holy wars and go out to war and be a soldier and go fight for something that actually matters, which is your belief system, not if somebody likes AI or not. All right, y'all. Subscribe if you're new. Peace.